In this video, I'm going to talk about online hypnotherapy. And the obvious question, it's very commonly asked, is does it work? Does it work online the way it might work in person? And the short answer is it works surprisingly well. It actually works more effectively than you might originally think. I've been impressed in the past by how well it works. At times, I've even done it on the phone without even having a video. So I've seen it work really well in that way as well. I work fairly often with a healer actually, and she regularly just does phone work with me without even doing video. The video does add a really useful element to hypnotherapy, and this is the reason why I still use it. Because the question it begs to be asked is, if the bulk of the session, typically the session's about 90 minutes long, and the bulk of it is done with your eyes closed, so why do I even need to have a video call if anyways you're not seeing me? Well, the answer is I'm doing it so I can see you. I use the video to gauge body language and subtle reactions of what's going on during your hypnotherapy experience to sort of gauge and define and allow me to know what actions to take next. Should I wait a little bit longer? Should I actually just dive into the next phase or the next thing we're going to do? Because there's some really fascinating visual cues that hypnotherapy is actually working for the client while they're doing it. One of the most obvious ones is rapid eye movement. You can actually see the eyeballs moving behind the eyelids, kind of like somebody's dreaming. It's basically controlled dreaming in a way. And so the imagination is highly active, similar to rapid eye movement when you're dreaming, and you can really see that physically happening as the person is processing whatever they're processing or imagining what they're imagining. And you see this, this, by the way, is deliberately pursued in EMDR, which is one of the most proven methods for treating trauma. They actually have the client deliberately move their eyes back and forth in certain patterns to help integrate more deeply. And I oftentimes invite my clients to do the same thing, to actually move their eyelids deliberately to sort of integrate whatever they're experiencing more deeply. There are other cues as well. You can see people sort of shoulders relax. You can see them sinking more deeply. Obviously, if there's emotions involved, I can tell if they're crying, if they've calmed down. There's a lot of really useful cues that I can tune into when it's being done online, but extremely effective, because at the end of the day, what you're getting is the guided experience, and people have their headphones on and they are just hearing me guide them, and then I can have the visual cue to help me make more calculated choices and decisions as the session's going on. So yeah, I've worked with people all over the world, and that's one of the big advantages of online hypnotherapy, is that you're not limited by geographical location. So you're able to access somebody who is a good fit for you, whether that's you get along well with them or they are specializing in specific areas. For example, I like focusing on ADHD, religious trauma, addictions. Those are kind of my areas of focus, anxiety. Other hypnotherapists might focus on depression or other niche topics, relationships. I do some relationships, but it's not been my main focus. So you can find the right person for you and work with them no matter where they are in the world. And then one of the side benefits, obviously, the sheer convenience of it. I mean, there's something really nice about working in person in one way, but on the other hand, just being able to just kind of tap into hypnotherapy from the comfort of your own home, that is really convenient, and it takes away a lot of that barriers. Like sometimes we really already experience a sort of resistance. Oh, I don't want to do therapy, and that definitely still comes up. But not having to get into your car if it's freezing out or boiling out, and being able to just put your phone in a convenient spot, find a quiet room, and have your session, it gives you a lot of convenience, and I think it just increases the accessibility of the entire experience for people. People oftentimes talk about like hypnotherapy on Zoom, and obviously any video platform works fine. Zoom got very popular during the pandemic. Google Meet is another big one, and Microsoft Teams is popular. I personally use a lesser known platform called Whereby, and what I love about it is that it is so easy to use. There's no installing software. You click on a link, you enable your microphone and camera, and you are good to go. And so that just clicking you're in type of experience is something that I've liked for years, and I've been using Whereby for years with great effect. So whenever clients book with me, I just give them the link, and it's the same link for everybody, right? It's just it's the waiting room. If I'm working with another client, you knock, you wait, and then I let you in. So there's no like remembering the link or figuring out, what was it again? It's always the same link every time. You can save it once, and anytime you have a session, you just access it. So that's what I love about Whereby. And so my advice, if you're doing a virtual session, is obviously to try to recreate the same experience that you might have in a physical session in a therapist's office, because the therapist has created this environment for you that's really peaceful, it's really quiet, it's tranquil, and allows you to work uninterrupted. So you want to do yourself the same justice in your own house. Find a place where no one's going to walk in on you, where you can be as expressive as you want to be, where you don't feel like the noise from outside is going to disturb you, or you making noise won't bother other people, or you won't feel self-conscious about yourself. And really, that is like the key point of all of it. That's the main thing. And it's not always perfect, and we can really work with a lot of circumstances. I remember doing meditation training once at the basement of a university, and suddenly like everybody started taking showers at the same time. You could just hear through the pipes all this running water. And I was like, imagine yourself, by a running stream, and it's just part of the relaxation. So we can work with what we have, but to get yourself up to a good start by making the environment around you safe and comfortable, have yourself in a place where you can really relax, sit comfortably, right? You don't want like a really hard chair. You want headphones that stay in. You want a way for your camera to stay upright with you without having you have to hold it. Like you should be able to, shift positions or sink down in your chair and still be able to relax. And the session structure, though, is pretty much the same, whether we would be working in person or online. And so typically we'll have a few minutes of just chatting. If there's anything specific you want to work on, then we'll talk about, then we dive right in, right, to the actual hypnotherapy. And the typical structure is a few minutes of just guided relaxation. So from that point on, your eyes are closed, and we're just going relaxation through the body. Then we do a few minutes of resource building, where we focus on feeling really great and feeling really safe and getting you in a positive mindset, because that makes all the difference when you can focus and address your problems from that positive mindset. And then we do the bulk of the work, and that is, whatever comes up, tackling the topics, sometimes from creative angles. There's a variety of techniques that we utilize in this modality to help and make it as powerful and fast acting and insightful for you as possible. And that's typically what it goes. And then towards the end, we come back out, we have a few minute debrief, and we're good to go. So I invite you, if you're curious about online hypnotherapy, to definitely give it a shot. You might be surprised at how effective it can be, how convenient, and how powerful. So good luck on your healing journey, on your journey of self-discovery, and stay tuned.